Hello and welcome to the Birmingham City preview show. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
Have a guess where we are. We're at the Pear at Parley. Tom, cheers.
Mate, of course, cheers.
It's a very overcast Tuesday today. Hope you are all right. I hope you enjoyed the show last night as well that we did. That seemed to go down pretty well. Lots of different opinions, weren't there?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I think we all the guests and ourselves managed to, it's really, you just lost to Bournemouth at home after a few bad games in the league as well, and I think we done our best to remain, try and look at the positives now and again, but also kind of dissecting what's going wrong at the moment. So yeah, appreciate everyone that came on and got involved, and it was enjoyable. I mean, much needed therapy, I called it.
One thing that I'm noticing on some of our tweets, it seems to be that our Twitter seems to explode somewhat when there's been a terrible result, and we don't tend to tweet during matches or afterwards because we're trying to enjoy the game and doing what we do with the fan cams and stuff, so we aren't there to put out a tweet anyway. What's the point? But people tag AFCB podcast and they say, I hope you're going to say this, or I hope you're going to make reference to this, and people are expecting us to have an opinion as a podcast, like with a Daily Mirror or something. This is what Back of the Net thinks, but we are a group of people, we're a collective. So in terms of what we think about Scott Parker and various regimes and stuff, some of us are split down the middle, some of us aren't very happy, and some of us are sort of content to go along with it. One person noticed a tweet from a person that's involved in Back of the Net talking about the chief exec, saying that he thinks his decisions on managers that we've employed aren't particularly the best, but football's a fickle world, mate. I mean, Last week we were doing a deadline day show where he was flavour of the month. Yeah. And now, because of a loss, which in the grand scheme of things is insignificant because...
Nothing to do with him either, the loss.
Exactly, nothing to do with him. We were playing in a cup that we're never going to win. We were playing with so many new players as well. And there was a lot of pressure, and he just needs to, sort it out. But then all of a sudden, in the space of 90 minutes, he's now, sort it out, Blake, sort it out. And for me, I think it's very difficult for us to sort of have an opinion when anger is so high. There's frustrations all about, and we completely understand them, and we just want to reflect really on what fans feel, but without being that real kind of negative thing. Because, like as a pod, as a YouTube channel, if we're ultra negative, that's no good for anyone, is it? I don't think.
No, I think you've got to try and get a balance. Like you say, it's difficult after the game. I think that's what people want to see, though. After we do the fan cams and stuff after the game, because we're trying to show our instant reactions, our feelings after just watching what we've watched, and then we do the second look to try and reflect a little bit more and go through it a little bit more and dissect and and look at them positives and things. Listen, but you've also got to be real. We're not going to come out and be all cheery after a 1-0 defeat at home, regardless of the opposition. And we're just looking at it, and that's why we get different guests on, we get different people on to try and have that balance. So, I think it's just as long as people appreciate that. If I were to post off my private Twitter, that's not reflective of what you think necessarily. We are one mind though. So it's all individual, and like you say, the podcast as a whole, we try and we're there more, we're for the fans, aren't we? We're trying to so everyone give their opinions. It's nice because it's always great when you've got good opinion, good debate, and everyone's a little bit different. I thought we saw that last night. I think there's a lot of differing on performances haven't been great, but different reasons behind that, and whether we feel we can kick on, and hopefully that'll start tomorrow, mate.
And look, the focus has always been on the league. At the start of the season, people weren't really talking about cup runs. It's always about the league. And look, we got knocked out to Norwich in the EFL Cup. Awful game. Scraped past Yeovil, lost to Bournemouth. But it's not any different to previous cup campaigns. Last season aside, of course. But it's, it is a difficult one, but the focus is on the league, and that is where Bournemouth really need to be on it tomorrow against Birmingham City in a match that needs to show a lot of promise, because like you said yesterday, we're on a knife edge at the moment, aren't we?
We are, definitely, and I alluded to it yesterday that I felt that Barnsley was a perfect fixture when we had a couple of league defeats because of where they were, and I think this is a pretty good one as well. Birmingham ain't doing particularly good. I think they're 18th at the moment, and they're a team that we got a bit of grief, didn't we, at the start of the season when I put them. I think I said they would come 17th, and a lot of their fans said with the investment they should be knocking on the door for the playoffs top half. I feel like that's every season with Birmingham. I feel like they've always got a decent squad when I look at their players, and it just doesn't seem to come to fruition for whatever reason. But it's certainly a game that I would handpick at home for a reaction. and I think it's the performance levels. We want to see a bit of difference in that. I think that was the most frustrating thing of late, as it's been the performance levels. You all want results, but if you don't get the result, but you can see the right things, and it's just one of them, and it's a bit different. But I just think the level of performance and the way we're going about things is the main concern at the moment. But listen, if we go out there tomorrow night, win convincingly, play some good stuff, take the shackles off somewhat, I'll forget about Bournemouth, mate. I couldn't care less. So, but if we were to perform poorly and not get the win, then we will start referencing Bournemouth in previous games. That's just the way life is. So hopefully, that Bournemouth's done now, and the players got to show a reaction. I think the fans' kind of disharmony and the feel amongst the place on Sunday night will be in the players' minds, and I think both of us as a 50-50 have got to get together and make sure we get the 3 points, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the time of recording, there has been no Parker presser, and it doesn't look as though there are any signs of being one either. So what we're going to do is talk about the opposition. So, Birmingham City, since our victory earlier in the season away at St Andrews last August, in their next game, Birmingham City actually had their highest score of the season, winning 5-0 away against Luton Town. Bloody hell, if only we could have done that, eh? Since then, though, they've had a bit of a mixed season of results. Their best run was 3 wins on the trot. Away from home, they've won 3, drawn 5, and lost 7. Now, that win at St Andrews was pretty good, wasn't it?
Enjoyed that one.
Should we watch the best bit?
Oh, go on then.
Go on, Tom! Go on, Tom! Yeah! They found that.
As Tom said, very enjoyable. I mean, actually, the first half was terrible, wasn't it?
It wasn't great, but I remember the circumstances. I think Brooksy was obviously playing at that point, was suspended. Yeah. We had Leif Davis right midfield and Chris Mepham right back.
Was that so that was after the Nottingham Forest game? That's when he got okay.
Yeah. So I mean, put it to, I think the one sub we made was Saidi. Do you know what I mean? It was that start of the season where we were kind of down to the bare bones, so to speak.
So, and Leif Davis right, yeah.
Leif Davis on the right hand side of midfield, Chris Mepham at right back. Ibsen Rossi was obviously playing and played a key part in that second goal. It was Jane Anthony's first goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was really nice to see. He was chuffed, and I thought the first goal. Actually, I've just realised there was another sub because Ben Pearson played a lovely ball through to Solanke, and it was a really nice finish. And I just remember thinking, with what we got out there at the moment, to go there and win and keep a clean sheet was a really good one. I enjoyed the night. The interesting thing is, I just off the top of my head without looking at stats, I always feel like we've got a great record at St Andrews and maybe not quite as good against them at home. But having said that, I've had some good memories of playing Birmingham, Jack Wilshere last season. Yep. So, hopefully we can continue that. But, I really enjoyed that one. But it was very early in the season. We got a completely different team, and I'm sure they're in a very different place as well.
Yeah, in their last game, they lost 2-1 to Sheffield United. I think that was midweek. And the last time, as Tom said, the Blues visited Dean Court was on the 6th of February, so nearly a year to the day. And we won 3-2. Scott Hogan put Birmingham City 1-0 ahead early doors. But then Dan Juma equalised 9 minutes later. Jack Wilshere then put us ahead. Was that a header?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if that was a header.
I feel like it was.
I feel like it was. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was that one, and Billings scored as well, didn't he?
Yeah, so Scott Hogan equalised again. Then, as you say, Billip filling.
I like that.
That's a new chant, isn't it? Yeah. He then scored later on the 77th minute. So
was that Woodgate's first game? It was, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah.
I feel like it was, yeah. But high scoring game. We seem to have quite a few high scoring games over the years with Birmingham. But that was an enjoyable one. Like you say, it was quite an open game, wasn't it? But Scott Hogan got a couple of goals, and he should be one of the players leading the line for him. So he's definitely a danger. Yeah,
in the league at home against Birmingham City, AFC Bournemouth have won 5, drawn 0 and lost 3. So we shade that. Results between the two sides in all competitions: AFC Bournemouth have won 14, drawn 4 and lost 3. So when you think of Birmingham City, you think, big club, with a big fan base, yet we've seemingly, more times than not, we've always got the better of them.
Well, it's interesting because you just said there, lost 3 at home and lost 3 in all, so we don't lose at St Andrews, do we? No. So weirdly, this is the only game I'd probably prefer away. But I just remember kind of some of the home games. I remember that promotion season, and we went 2 down. Yeah. And then we come back, didn't we?
Yeah, Charlie Daniels scored the 4th, didn't he?
And they had a few chances to get a third as well. So, it'll be an interesting one. And like you say, I look at them and always think they should be knocking on the playoffs. And it just doesn't seem to work for them for one reason or another. But they've got a younger manager in that I think's trying to make things happen. It's probably more long term, and they've got some decent players, especially in attacking areas. I think I mentioned Scott Hogan there. It looks like Deeney will probably be out. I'm not sure. He's been out lately, but Lyle Taylor's started well there. Yeah, it didn't work for him down here, but it's worked for him at a few other clubs. So he'll certainly have a point to prove, I think, and got a bit of pace behind him. So it'll be interesting to see how we cope with that.
So George Friend was missing from their last Friday game. That was against the Blades with a calf strain. Also missing through illness as well was Jeremy Bella, so he could be a doubt for the game as well. As you say, Troy Deeney out with a hip injury. Ivan Sanchez has also been missing since he came on. And you mentioned Scott Hogan. He is the one to watch. He's their leading scorer with 10 goals. He scored 4 of the last 6 games, and he scored a brace against us back in February, as we just mentioned. And Lyle Taylor, he's actually started with a bang and scoring in his first 2 games, and he's a player that will want to prove a point, I'm certain.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really weird kind of chain in the sense that he left Nottingham Forest to go to Birmingham, while Nottingham Forest got Sam Surridge to play with Lewis Craven. It's a few Bournemouth links in there, but it never worked for him, as I say, on the South Coast. But to be fair, everywhere else he's been, he's managed to get a few goals, and I think it's going to be really interesting when we talk about kind of what team will put out, because I think their main threats are their front two. They'll play a front two. It'll be Taylor and Hogan. Whether Deeney's available from the bench or not remains to be seen, but Hogan and Taylor will be a threat, so it'll be interesting to see how we cope with them and what pairing we go with as well. Whether we go with experience of someone like Cahill, or we think, will he have the legs against Lyle Taylor? Here comes a plane, as always, in the pair. What we got? That's going to Alicante, isn't it?
I think it might be. Is that? Yeah, I think it's going to Alicante.
We haven't researched them though. No, we didn't look. But that's the. That's definitely off to Alicante. I can see the way the wind's going.
Yeah. The referee tomorrow is James Lillington. He reffed 2 games for us this season, both 3-0 wins, Barnsley and Cardiff. 3-0, I'll be happy with that, right?
That's what we need to know, mate. Yeah, I love little omens like that. And we'll all take 3-0, wouldn't we? So I can't really recognise him off the top of my head as a ref, but he's got a good record for us, so I like him.
One of the things that I do want to say is, in terms of the atmosphere, what did you think of what it was like against Bournemouth? I mean, when you're playing lesser teams like Boreham Wood, #Luton Town, They're obsessed as Watford, mate.
They are, mate. I know.
It's so weird. It's so weird. But anyway,
Yeah,
I love that they love Twitter and love us and watch this video. Credit to you for doing that. But Boreham Wood, I mean, it's very difficult as a fan base to raise yourself for when you're playing like opposition that is lesser than you, and there's no siege mentality from the fans. And as a club, that's all we've ever done.
Yeah.
Sort of play teams that are expected to win. So we need a better. We do need a better atmosphere.
Of course, definitely. I think it was kind of. I expected it to be not quite as vibrant because it was a cup game. To be fair, whoever the opposition, and there was probably a few more kind of like families coming in. There was a general sale and things. But even in the game before against Hull, it was poor. But as I keep saying, it's 50-50. That whole game, I keep going back to it. We didn't even have a corner in the second half. Like you need something to get yourselves off our seats, and whether it's a Jefferson Lerma tackle or a little run at someone or a shot from distance. I remember thinking in some of them games, someone just needs to get the ball and have a crack and just get the crowd going. Come on, then let's get up for it. It's very difficult when you're just passing the ball in front of a low block and just knocking it around. People are going to get frustrated, but we got to try and get behind them, especially from the start of the game. Yeah. It needs to work in. It needs to work together. We need us to make a fast start, and the crowd need to, forget about what's happened recently, and get the boys up for it because we can play a real part in that. So hopefully it all comes together. We get the place rocking midweek under the lights, and we get an early goal, and we just go from there. Like
you say, it is a two-way thing, and I think as fans, I've said this many times before, we've been treated to some brilliant football whereby we haven't really needed to do much because it was so entertaining. We always had fast starts, and that as a result would get the fan base, would get the decibel level up. But now we're in a situation where we're not being entertained, but we should try to do our bit. I don't think we're entitled because we do want to see something to get us going, and there literally has been nothing. But one of the things I've sort of noticed, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, is ever since Nonny passed away, mate, is the atmosphere's been bad. I mean, the last game we had before his passing was Swansea, where we absolutely tonked them. Of course, he wasn't there for that, but I know the club try to do their bit in kind of replicating him being there, but it's like a part of our fan base, like the soul has almost been kind of ripped out. And he was a person, right? I stood next to him for many a game on the old South End, along sort of nearby, like Vinny and like Terry, not sort of right next to him. And sometimes there would be these kind of moments of quiet, like during a game, and we wouldn't say like Nonny, give us a song, Nonny, and all of a sudden, and we'd be like, oh my God, Nonny, because he didn't care. And I think a lot of us, especially in the North Stand, we've got this kind of, like Nonny's love for the club superseded his worry or concern about the person next to him. And that's, I think, one thing I'm finding, that you sit next to certain people who just do not sing and do not clap or whatever, so you feel a bit of a dick by you chanting when no one else sort of is. And we've almost got to put that aside, because at the moment, right, the players need us, and it shouldn't be that way around. With the amount of quality that we've got out there on the pitch, it shouldn't have to be, but it is. So, and we can control what we can control. We can't control what happens, so we can get behind them at least. So we need to be so bloody loud at Dean Court on Wednesday, and who knows, maybe there'll be some synergy, and whatever we sing will translate onto the pitch, and we'll see a good performance, and that will hopefully breed the confidence that the players need to put in better shifts. And maybe there might be some games where they can inspire us, but maybe we can do our thing. But like atmosphere's not been great. I mean, if you're an away fan at Dean Court, out of 10, what would you be putting for our average support?
It'd be right near the bottom, but
3, 4 maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I think, as you said, well put about Nonny. I think sometimes you need that. It's all going a bit drab, and you just need someone to bellow something out. And I think Nonny was he can never be replaced in that sense. And we need another plane. But we do need to get it rocking a little bit more. I will say that I think one of the highest scoring when we do our away reviews about decibel level from the home fans was Derby when they beat us. That does play a part. It's very. I haven't really heard a really loud fan base when they're getting beat. It's just the way it is. But like I say, it's a 50-50 thing. It's a split thing, and we both got to help each other out, mate. We're all part of the same club, so we've got to help each other out, and hopefully that starts tomorrow.
Right, let's do pubs and predictions. So in terms of the pubs, of course, this is a home game for AFC Bournemouth. So if you're a Birmingham City fan, make sure you check out our away fans guide at the top of the screen above one of our heads. I can never work out when we record it. It's either above my head or it'll be above yours. It's up there somewhere. There's a card you can click where you can find out exactly where you should be going. If you're on one of the supporters coaches, which drops you off at the stadium, they'll probably direct you up Ashley Road into Boscombe. And there's Mellow Mellow and Malroy's Bar there, which they're all right. But there are other pubs as well in Southbourne Way, which the more, I don't know, like articulate drinkers might want to go to with some craft beer and all that stuff. I mean, you're not one of them.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, but you know, there's a plethora of pubs and eateries in Southbourne as well. Plus the Cricketers is always, and the Firkin Shed, of course, in Holderness Road is always a real popular place as well. So make sure you get on that. In terms of predictions, what do you think for this? Let us know in the comments below, and accompany it if you can with the first goal scorer, because we'd like to know who you think's going to be scoring first, and also the full time score. How are you feeling this one's going to go, mate?
Oh, no, I really don't know. One side of me thinks we're going to have a big reaction and come out the blocks, but then too regularly I've seen the style and how it's been. I feel like we'll be quite conservative and try to suss them out a little bit early on. So, but I think we'll have too much. But I don't think it'll be a thriller. But I think we'll just get over the line. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 Dom Solanke, which feels pretty safe. But that's what I'm going with. I'm still going to stick with. You got to predict a win, mate. You've got to go into games believing you can win it. So yeah, I'm going to go 1-0 Solanke. But I think it will be a real edgy one. But we'll get over the line.
I've got a horrible feeling it's going to be a 1-1. But I'm not going to go for that. I'm going to go for a 2-0.
Take it.
I'm sure that everyone at the club, we said this on yesterday's show, everyone is going to be acutely aware of the fans' feeling. The feeling within the whole fan base at the moment. And that was reflected by the fact they didn't tweet for absolutely ages and just let things calm down a little bit. And, you know, that feeling will be known from Scott Parker throughout all sort of levels at the club, so they're going to be doing their utmost to change things, and that's one thing we do need to see. We do need to see some, you know, we see the same patterns of play week in, week out, and there's never any sort of, you know, dynamism. There's not one who's taking responsibility, and that's what we really need to see, because that driving run from a midfielder could help inspire the crowd, and they are going to be needing to turn this whole like feeling around within the fan base, and this is the game to do it. And I'm sure they're all aware. Scotty, in his post-match interview, he alludes to the fact that he knows things needs to change, and, you know, this is Scotty, this is when to demonstrate it. Yeah, definitely. I think weirdly, if you're trying to look at a positive for losing at home to Bournemouth Wood, it's that if you're ever going to look to change something, it's after a defeat like that. Yeah. You're going to go, well, we can't repeat that. As I say, personnel was different, and it will definitely be a different side. We're not going to have that midfield three that we had, and hopefully we'll have different patterns in there that will help us. But yeah, as you say, we've just got to go about things a little bit differently, and just take the handbrake off a little bit. I think, and you know, we've got a hell of a squad, some unbelievably talented players. And we just need to let the shackles off a little bit and let them have a bit of freedom and go for them and go for the jugular a little bit. We've got some good centre halves in there. They'll be all right. Lerma sat in front, we'll be fine. Let the players in front of them have a little bit more freedom to go and take the game to Birmingham, because Birmingham, you know, they're not a team vibrant full of confidence at the moment. Let's go and get an early goal and really take the sting out of them. And then when you get the early goal against these teams, they've got no choice but to open up a little bit. Yeah. And then you'll find gaps. The problem we've had at the moment is we're Barnsley aside, we're letting in the first goal, which means it plays into their hands, because then they can just sit back with a low block and go, come on then, and it's harder to break them down. So yeah, I think a fast start is paramount, and we get that, and then I think the game suits us, to be honest. Excellent. Shall we pick our team, Tom?
Go on then.
Right then, with a bit of jiggery pokery, we're now on the sidelines of a football pitch, mate. I can't get my words out today.
Yeah, you're all over the place.
Shocker!
I'll carry this.
You can't carry. And look, there's the pitch, and there are the positions. It's in the formation that we usually play, but I'm happy to switch it around to whatever you say, Tom. Whatever Tom says.
It's got to be 4-3-3, mate.
We got to remember that Gary Cahill is available again after his suspension. It may still be too early for Ethan Laird, having suffered a setback with his injury. Chris Mepham is back from injury, which is good. So Scott Parker will have a strong squad to pick from for this. So goalkeeper-wise, I think it's going to be Travers.
Yeah, well, Nyland's gone. It's got to be Travers. Women's first game, it's hard to judge him too much, but he didn't exactly come out of it brilliantly. He didn't have a load to do, but his distribution wasn't fantastic. So yeah, it's got to be Travers, and I think Parker has alluded to the fact that he has got the jersey, and I think if he was going to play Woodman, he probably would have just played Travers in the cup game. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be Travers, and I'll be absolutely shocked if it isn't. So yeah, Mark Travers in nets.
Okay, across the back then, we had a very different looking defence, but I've got a feeling we'll probably go back to having Jack Stacey at right back.
Yeah, got to. Obviously, Smithy looks like he's back on the grass, which is really...
That's good to hear.
Which is really good. I think he brings a lot of experience. But yeah, Laird, even if he is ready, he's not going to be ready to start. So yeah, Jack Stacey at right back for me, and hopefully we see some more of them marauding runs, and because he's got it in him, and just cut the errors out. Left
back's quite a difficult position to go for, really, because Leif Davis hasn't been bad, and he's been one of our player of the month. Thanks to all the Leeds fans for doing that. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I mean, Travers had his name on that, but he's a player that is now giving Jordan Zamora a run for his money, and there's always the argument that when Jordan Zamora starts, Jayden Anthony should start, and I don't know, up the pitch I think there may be a few changes in Jayden Anthony's position. So does that mean there's the reliance on Jordan Zamora that there used to be? I don't know. How do you feel about it? Is he still the shoe-in for that position?
I think he is. I feel for Leif Davis. I think his better performances have come in kind of bad performances as a whole. He's been one of the ones that can kind of come out of it
that's
okay.
The point, yeah.
But I think the balance is better with Jay-Z. I certainly think he'll play. But what I will say is to Leif Davis is he kept going on Sunday. I thought he kept trying to do the right thing. I didn't think his final ball was always great, but he does like to get wide and get balls in the box. And going forward, I weirdly think he'd be an option, even if it's in front of Zamora, when like Kiefer Moore's maybe settled in a little bit more, just because he does like to put a ball in the box, which we don't really have a lot from Zamora. But we've got to start Jordan Zamora for me. It's a little bit harsh on Leif Davis, but at the end of the day, I think Zamora is a better player. So yeah, I'd go Jay-Z.
Okay, so out of the centre-back pairing, I presume Lloyd Kelly will be back in on the left side, and then right side. I mean, you've got three options.
Yeah, you've got three options. And Ibsen Rossi isn't even one of them. So, or Steve Cook, who's now left. So yeah, we've got options there with Hill, Mepham, and Phillips. A really interesting one, and Cahill, sorry. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting what he does there. I think Kelly's a shoe-in.
Well, in fact, there's four options then.
Yeah, that's what I've just realised. Yeah, blimey. Yeah, because Hill, Cahill, Mepham and Phillips.
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it? I think Kelly's a shoe-in. He's the skipper, which I appreciate. I don't think Hill and Phillips were awful. They didn't have a lot to do. It was more about how they bring it out. I've said to you, I said it last night. Personally, I think Mepham gets up the pitch better. I do think that. Is he the weakest of them as a defender? Maybe I'd appreciate that. But I just feel like when he gets the ball, he looks to drive into the space, whereas a lot of the others like to just pass it sideways. Having said that, from what Scott Parker, I think it's... Would he go Cahill? No, I think he's going to play Nat Phillips.
Yeah.
I think he'll play Nat Phillips with Lloyd Kelly as a centre-half pairing, which I'm happy with. Could be Cahill, but I think he's going to go, with Nat Phillips. I think Cahill is clearly shown lately that he's not quite 100% fit. So yeah, I think he's going to go Nat Phillips, mate. And we'll get to see that. But he's a strong character. I think we'll be alright with them two as a pairing.
Yeah. Okay. So right, formation-wise, sorry, what do you say we would do?
It's going to be 4-3-3 in my opinion.
Yeah.
We'll have one sitting. So we're going to that. It's got to be Jefferson Lerma.
Just so Jefferson Lerma's going to be in the sit position. Yeah, I think everyone's in agreement with that. And I've got a feeling that you're going to say two names as the sort of attacking midfielders, if you will. Who are you going for?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Todd Cantwell.
Yeah.
He's got to play after when he come off the bench, and Phil Billen.
Yeah.
Off that left side, and then you get that, Phil Billen. He likes to link up with Zamora a lot as well. But I think you've got to go with that. And I think Lerma gives you enough in there. He's a clever player, he's intelligent, and he'll sit there. I feel a little bit with Pearson. Obviously, he only played 45 minutes, didn't play well. None of them did, but he's very good. At Barnsley, I thought he was the best player on the pitch, actually, he was. Outfield. So it wouldn't shock, but I just don't think at home to Birmingham you need him and Lerma. Lerma got a good rest.
Absolutely not.
So yeah, I'm gonna go for Lerma sitting, and then Cantwell's like to the right attacking, and Billen to the left. I think he'll do that. It wouldn't shock me if one of the other midfielders come in, but no, I think it will be them three.
On the right side, I presume it'll be Ryan Christie.
Yeah, it's got to be Ryan Christie. I thought he was one that was quite lively when he came off the bench as well, and he's a clever player. And him and Stacey have played a lot of games now together, and they should be forming a bit of a partnership down that right hand side. So yeah, got to be Christie down there.
Up front, Dom Solanke, left side of midfield's the one remaining question where there is a debate to be had.
Definitely, and I personally would, because we want to see this kind of a little bit more free flowing and have people take people on. I quite like to see Dembele from the off. Having said that, I don't think he'll start him. I think Jamal Lowe played through the middle. I'm frustrated with Jamal Lowe actually. I don't think I've been kept saying that he's playing out of position when he's playing wide, but then he's played Yeovil and Bourne Wood through the middle, and I don't think he's looked very good. But yeah, I think Scott Parker will go Jayden Anthony.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too bad when Jayden Anthony went over to the left hand side.
Yeah, he doesn't look right when he's on that right hand side.
Yeah.
But obviously come over to the left at half time, and him and Leif Davis, like you say, they were trying to make things happen. It was the same with Leif. I think Jayden's end product sometimes not there, but he works his socks off, and you can see what it means, and he's trying to beat people at least. And I do think he'll look at them combinations of Zamora, Billing and Anthony, and I think he'll start Anthony, which I don't mind. I personally might give Dembele a go, but I think Scott will continue with Jayden Anthony on that left hand side. I think it's a lot of people will be trying to shoehorn kind of Kiefer Moore in there, but if he wasn't available for even the bench, he's not going to be ready to start. I'd love him to be an option from the bench, definitely, and I hope he's fit enough to do that. He's definitely been in training, but that's what I think we'll go with, mate. As you say, I think centre half next to Kelly's an interesting one, and also that left hand side. But other than that, I think that's what it should be.
And then I think we've said this before: if it's 0-0, whatever, or even 1-0 down, which judging by our form is likely, 20 minutes to go, it's a case of pulling out one of the midfielders, making it a 4-4-2, and sticking more up front with Solanke, right?
Definitely, either that or you go down a kind of 3-5-2 route potentially. I think the option we have when we're chasing a game is that we forget that Ryan Christie can do that kind of 8-10 role as well, and so that's another option. But I think certainly if you've got Kiefer Moore available, then he comes on for one of the midfielders, you go two up top, and you start getting some more. And that's, like I said then, that you might even get Leif Davis on just for balls in the box, but equally you could just chuck on a Dembele and say go and run at people. A bit like what we used to do with Morgan Rogers, but we hope the end product and stuff is better with Dembele. So we've got options off the bench, mate, and equally you go reverse of that and you lean the game and it's getting a bit edgy. You've got people like Ben Pearson who can come on and make it tougher in the midfield, and you've also got people like Gary Cahill who can come on and stop crosses by winning all his headers. So we've got a lot of options to swing it either way.
There's no excuse for this, is there? Because when I'm sort of looking at it now, thinking it's almost a dream team of what it was last season. You've got like Solanke, Todd Cantwell in the same side. You've got
Billing,
Lerma, all these players. You think, surely to God.
Yeah. No disrespect to players last season, but last season there was a point where I thought when it wasn't going as well, kind of end of Tyndall or a few times with Woodgate, you kind of thought, we've got Riquelme, no disrespect, Sam Surridge, Shane Long, and that's not the same as what we're talking about here. We've got a hell of a squad and to change the game. So yeah, hopefully we don't need it and we can kind of use them players like I said latterly and kind of just see the game out. But we have got options and we've got ways. We're flexible. We can go to a 3, we can play 4-4-2, we can play 4-3-3, we can play 4-2-3-1. We've got so many options with the players we got. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But I think players like Todd Cantwell have got to start because we need someone that can drive at people.
It's the manner of the performance that's... I don't want to see the same stuff, the same robotic, formulaic movement across the pitch, and that's what we had in the last game. And Scott Parker surely needs to be recognising that, and players need to be, released. We need to get the maximum potential out of these players because they are... there are some flair players in our side, creative, that sideways passes all the time, just playing to a system. It's obviously not working. So I hope, and I hope equally that the players are willing to take risks as well, and I don't know whether they're being told not to do that or whether the players are scared to maybe take risks for fear of the crowd getting on their back. I'm not too sure, and it is one of those kind of do or die performances where first 20 minutes we want to see it all, and Aaron Kay said it, he wants to see players running about like maniacs, because if you start conservative, I feel that that's only going to just grow throughout the match. It will give Birmingham confidence. Who knows, a freak goal, a well played goal, whatever, if they score, they will be up against it. So it's imperative that we get the result tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's what we've been doing too much lately. We played against Bourne Wood, who are probably thinking, we've got to suss these out, these are a good side, and quite quickly they realised, we can get at these, we can press these quite high actually, and then they managed to see an opportunity to nick a goal, and then game plan bang. So yeah, fast start is crucial. I think weirdly, it's like you said, mate. It's clear he's got a style, he's got a philosophy, which is fine. I weirdly think if we were in the Premier League, I'd get this more because I'd think we're playing against better teams. We've got to be a bit safer. I get it. We're one of the best squads in the league, arguably the best. We're playing against teams every week that on paper we should be beating. Why are we playing like we're the team?
Yeah.
That we're the team that have got to watch out for them. We're always looking at the opposition. I think they're more scared of us, and what we're doing too much of lately is giving them belief by the way we're playing. They're going, hang on a minute, they're just knocking it around, they're not going anywhere, they're not causing any problems here. So yeah, a fast start is crucial, and as you say, it's a 50-50 responsibility. The fans will then get behind them, I think, and I just hope that the players see that and really give a good account of themselves, and don't, as you say, think, I'm really nervous, I'll give it to him to take responsibility, I'll pass it to him to take let's see some of them players really. And I think what I liked with Campbell and Christie actually, when they come off the bench, is they took responsibility. They went, give me the ball and I'll try and make something happen. And I think Dom will do that as well.
Dom,
so I like to think we got players that can do that. So I'm over it a little bit, and I'm feeling like, right, let's see what it starts like. But it's a good fixture, and hopefully we can win that, play well, and then we're all forgetting about Bournemouth, and we can kick on to Blackpool, and we can go from there, mate.
Agreed. Why should people come to the Pear at Parley, Tom?
Good pub, mate.
Beautiful,
good
isn't
pub.
it? Just
go and have a little.
Have a look. Beautiful.
It's lovely, mate.
Oh, wonderful scenes here, and you know what? Food's really good. Company's incredible out here in the beer garden as well, and it's just in West Parley. So if you want to have a look, just go onto their website. The link is in the description. Tom, what can people do if I'm bored of saying it?
Why are so many people watching these videos, which is great, but not just clicking subscribe? It's so easy.
Just down there.
Doesn't no harm to you whatsoever. Just click the old subscribe button. Happy days, and give it a like as well. Gets out to more people, as we always say. Hit that bell.
Hit the bell, ding-a-ling-ling.
Because we do so many shows, you can't keep up sometimes. Oh my god, they're there again. But if you'd pressed the bell, they'd have told you. Happy days. But do it. Appreciate everyone watching, but do all them things. Otherwise, I won't be happy.
Yeah. Good stuff. Right, after the game tomorrow, outside the 1910 with the little light, and we will get you on if you want to chat cherries. We didn't do it for the FA Cup game. We did our reaction inside the concourse in the North Stand, which was there's a lot of shout and frouder going on, lots of different fans from other clubs coming on to enjoy our plight as we got knocked out of the cup to lowly Bournemouth. But hopefully it'll be all smiles tomorrow, so make sure you join us for that. And content wise, what else have we got? We've got
Blackpool coming up as well,
Blackpool preview, the Blackpool free for all, the Blackpool second look, the Blackpool away day show. What else? Something else, probably.
I mean, we might end up in Pop World in Blackpool. They might see a bit of that, who knows? But yeah, come and join us outside the 1910 after the game. Come and share your views. A lot of people do it in the comments, which we love. But if you're there, come and have a little chat with us. If we lose, I will be in the 1910 probably. But we're just outside it having a chat, and it's good when we get new fans on as well, isn't it? Just you get some different reactions. It's really nice when we have a nice balance. So hope you do that, and we'll win this. Then we'll kick on to Blackpool. Have a good night out. Have a win. Who cares about the cup?
Who needs it? Up the chairs. See you in the next one.